Hey guys, Lex here again. How are you? How you doing? So as you all know, I generally run Goblin Caves, but several of you in the comments of my YouTube videos have told me that I should try a solo Crypts run. Crypts? Why is that so hard for me to say? Solo Howling Crypts Run, because apparently the loot in there is better, which lines up perfectly because there was a challenge run I was trying to revisit. Just basically solo fighter, going to hell and extracting successfully, which isn't too hard on other classes, you know, as long as you kind of play ratty and avoid trios, you can navigate hell pretty easily and get a bunch of loot. It's probably better on a rogue, honestly. It's just a little harder on fighter because you have to avoid the trios and you have to play a little ratty at times, and fighters don't really have a lot of skills or perks that lend well to the rat style of gameplay. But yeah, that's pretty much what this video is. I'm going into hell with some items I picked up from a previously successful hell run, and that one's more of a pure 0 to hero run. If you want to see that, let me know in the comments. I can narrate that too. And speaking of which, this is going to be a different format also. I used to do voiceover narrations of gameplay that I recorded in the past, and this is, you know, just games that I play off stream. Sometimes I just like to record them in case some fun stuff happens, or if I see a chance for an educational moment or two. Before those were faceless, and I think I'm going to keep my face here on the video this time. You want to see my face, right? Right? Yeah! There is also a hilarious 1v3 that happens at the beginning of this video, and it just goes to show you how powerful a well-timed invisibility potion can be. Alright, enough of that. Roll the tape! Yeah, this is actually one of my favorite rooms to start out in. You can see in the corner the zigzaggy walls. I really like this room because I usually just beeline it straight up the left side. There are 2 mummies that'll spawn on the way, but there are a bunch of chests at the end of there, and you know, obviously you want to try and get as many upgrades as you can early on. But I am using a purple arming sword with not very good rolls actually, that I found from I think it was a demon bat in the last hell run. And everything else pretty much greens and whites, not even a full set. I think I go through it really quickly in a bit just so y'all can see. Yep, so first big chest, let's see what we get. Yep, and then you just want to break the vase. There's a bunch of chests in here, 3. Just, you know, I would say just be prepared to crouch and back out in case one of these is a mimic. I've definitely been, you know, caught with my pants down, so to speak, and bitten, just because you know, obviously any chest can be a mimic, but this one you have to crouch and back up to get out of the room, so you want to just be a little wary of that, but obviously, you know, looking for upgrades still. Yep, and we find an invis pot here, super important, as mentioned earlier. And yeah, actually, I go back up the right side. there was some rubber banding there, and I literally shook my head. I was like, come on, man, I just gotta shake that shit off. But yeah, I go back up the right side, because I don't want to trigger the mummies on the other side yet. Ooh, better quality invis potion. Okay, so that's the one I end up using. But yeah, there's a chest here. I'm looking for more white lantern. I mouse back over it because I'm just in disbelief. I always find bad quality lanterns. I'm cursed. Oh yeah, I hear some footsteps in the neighboring room.
Hey.
And sure enough, there's a team. I go A, and I'm greeted with an arrow, so I'm like, all right, that's how it's gonna be. But you notice here, I run back up the side with the already slain mummies. I don't want to aggro the other side of mummies. There's some that will rise out of the ground, because if that team chases me, I want the mummies to be on them, not me. And yeah, I'm just trying to progress a little east towards the center of the circle and just run hopefully parallel to that team, because I don't really want to try and engage them. Because, you know, 3v1 aren't great odds, but I mean, you'll see what happens. I wasn't expecting the double shot. Never assume, always assume double shot. I get hit. No, that was a mistake on my end. He runs away. I accidentally aggro a mummy, but the other team isn't in here yet, so I'm like, alright, this is fine. I'll just kind of kill these guys as quickly as I can. And sure enough, there are arrows coming from a familiar spot, and I'm like, alright. I queued up the green invis potion and just drank it right here. The duration doesn't matter here, it's just the use of it. And yeah, I mean, sure enough. The ranger's leading the way, which is a mistake. I mean, I'm like, alright, I'm gonna swing away at you. Rogue is up next, I back up, use second wind. And I'm just kind of backing up and using the walls and a little bit of distance so I get a little more value out of second wind here. And the last ranger just booking it. I got all these throwing knives queued up, so I'm just chonking his health down little by little. I mean, it's not looking good for him. Yep, I'm able to squeeze through that door. I just try to shift to the left so that he doesn't close it on me, and I'm right up on him. And I was considering opening my inventory and equipping more throwables, but sprint was back up at this point. I'm like, all right, this is going to be it for him. And down he goes. Yeah, 1v3. I mean, they looked mostly base kit, but I wasn't wearing too much my own self, so I'm like, all right, let's see if these guys have any upgrades. This guy had some gloves for me. I wasn't wearing gloves at all. I'm like, all right, let's go check his teammates out. Maybe they had some better stuff. And yeah, that's where I show you my gear real quick. And I was in disbelief myself. I'm like, well, that felt almost a little too easy. It was purely because they were panicking, though. I feel like maybe they were just panicking. And, you know, should have fought a little more instead of just running for the majority of that fight. Alright, so the 3 mummies are still just kind of walking around in here. You know, easy. This is all easy PvE to deal with, so I'm not really too concerned at all. Alright, let's see what they got. I'm just looking at the mummies. I'm like, how much time do I have to loot these guys before I have to deal with these? I'm like, alright, fine. Circle location is still very good for us, so I mean, you know, no rush or anything. Just taking my sweet time. Cool. Alright. Finally. Yeah. Oh, he had a leather cap. That's right. Okay, finally have a leather cap. He has a blue lantern with magical healing and magical power, dude. The one blue quality lantern I found in like ages. I'm like, okay, I'm using it. I don't care, I'm using it. I don't care that it does nothing for me. Sure, this rogue was actually wearing green padded tunic and green loose trousers. They were both, I would consider upgrades, so I went with them. I dropped the doublet, I'm like, you know, maybe, you know, I might want to take that on another run. I'll keep it for now. Oh, I noticed a mistake here. I realized the rangers have bows, and I should have grabbed one of the bows off of them. Because I'm using weapon mastery currently, and just again having any ranged option is so strong on a fighter. And if you're doing a 0 to hero run in crypts, I really do recommend bringing weapon mastery. I know a lot of people don't like the perk, but I think it's really good. It gets you, you know, it just gives you a lot of capability and a lot of utility early on. Like, you know, you might find a recurve or a longbow, but not a crossbow if you're doing a 0 to hero run, and you know. And sure enough, I find a blue longbow in the skeleton, so it doesn't even matter anyway. I'm like, all right, sweet. Don't know if I go back for the arrows though. But yeah, guys, weapon mastery. You know, people like to shit on it, but I think it's decent, especially in 0 to hero runs. Because again, I had all those throwing knives that I normally wouldn't be able to use either. You want to be able to use most of the things that you find. So again, weapon mastery is great for 0 to hero stuff. And I know this technically isn't a 0 to hero run because I started with some stuff from the previous successful hell run that I had, but I mean, you know, it's still seeing a lot of use here, so I think it's a pretty fine perk. Just going through looting. I mean, honestly, at this point, I'm happy with that triple kill. I'm just looking for safe upgrades wherever I can find a chest here or there, wherever I can deal with some PvE here or there. Another mimic. Yeah, I'm just trying to find, you know, some upgrades while waiting for hell portals to appear. That's essentially what this kind of what this part of the run is like. Just find some decent upgrades, go to hell, and hopefully find some even better upgrades. I'm like peeking through the door here because I thought I heard something. I was so sure this was a live Skelly just waiting to raise up, and I'm like, oh wait, he's already dead. That's kind of funny seeing that after a 1v3. But we get like a blue portal here, so I mean, you know, there's always that option if we want to take it. I always think, like, you know, you should have an option to extract if you have one. I mean, it's always good to have it there in case, like, you run into a juicer trio that tries to run you down. You're like, nope, see ya. So yeah, I generally try to open those as soon as they're up. It's just good to have as an option. Even if somebody else steals it too, it's fine. You know, you avoid a fight, but yeah, just try to open them as soon as possible. In most cases. Unless you want to use them for bait, I don't know. That's another invisibility potion opportunity at times. And you know, you should be playing somewhat ratty in these in this first round before you get to hell. So if you see already dead skeletons like that, like I stumbled across in that room, that's usually a good sign. Like, okay, people have already been here. it doesn't feel like there's a high likelihood of another group rolling through anytime soon. So I'm like, all right, you know, just something that, you know, sometimes I'll follow paths kind of carefully. If I see a bunch of dead mobs, I'm like, all right, somebody's already been through here. It might be okay. Oh, beautiful. We see a hell portal right there. Pretty much just rush straight towards it. I'm like, all right, get him to queue up a burp, start looting this one, or not, wow, opening this one. Done deal. Cool, now we get to wait for the round to end. Let's just sit here in silence for 2 minutes. I'm kidding, we're not gonna do that. And here we are, the power of editing, right? So first things first, as I'm looking at the map, I'm like, oh, I'm right next to the boss room. I should just check to see what boss it is. And sure enough, it is the Skeleton King. So I'm like, okay, Skeleton King? Lich King? I don't know. It's the undead dude who raises a bunch of skeletons. This guy is easy to deal with. If it was the Ghost King, he teleports on top of you, and it really hurts. You have to use like an invis potion. So I just sprint, open the door. He de-aggroes as soon as you step through the door, and we're good. Start fighting this guy. I take a hit because I'm slowly kind of backing up. I want to piss off the boss again. Still a mistake. I probably could have avoided it, but you know, I was just like, I'm glad I'm not being, you know, swarmed by skeletons right now. Yeah, and so I just start clearing in here, you know. Elite zombies. This is a pretty easy room to clear, honestly. This is one of the more chill rooms I feel like in Hell. You just try to remember that little weird square staircase with the diagonal line image. I don't know, man. But yeah, you can easily aggro things one by one in here if you approach it from the right door. So pretty easy stuff. I'm just kind of going through, you know, baiting the dog into attacks. Just backing up in a diagonal kind of direction will make that dog miss almost every attack. It's pretty easy stuff. And yeah, obviously land headshots as you can. It does double the damage. Oh yep, and there's a gargoyle that I pissed off in there. Gargoyle, I say gargoyle, a demon bat they're called. And it's just kind of stuck. I want the thing to come at me, and he's just like, this ledge is giving me trouble. I don't know. Honestly, those things are still frightening to me. Like, they make some insane sounds. They move in such an erratic way, and it freaks me out. But you just circle around them, and you can avoid pretty much all their attacks. I'm still not perfect with it. I don't have the right radius down. I sometimes get tagged by an attack or two. But really, they're a representation of the philosophy that the closer you are, the safer you are, honestly, to these guys. Like, you want to be super close to them, and honestly, you're much safer. All right, so here we go. We're just doing this little twirl. I think, yeah, right here, yeah, exactly. I was a little too far back, just slightly. Yeah, but we're just swinging. And there we go. We took one hit. Yeah. Little mistake, but it's fine. On a little note about the aggro in that boss room, in front of each door is actually a little bit of a safe zone. So if you were to run across the room and the boss aggroes, you can use an invisibility potion in front of a door before opening it. The boss will drop aggro and reset, and then when the invisibility potion wears off, or if you break invisibility, if you're right next to the door that you want to open, the boss won't aggro to you. There's like a bit of a safe zone in front of each door. So if you make it to the door that you want to open and you have an invis pot, you're pretty much golden. Just use the invis pot. That was a bug, man. I didn't throw my lantern on purpose. I was wondering why I couldn't attack. You probably saw the message pop up. And I was like, what's going on here? I'm just hitting every button. I hit right click, and for some reason my character was just locked into holding the lantern. Weird stuff. I see a doublet with 9 armor rating. I don't pick it up. Maybe I should have. That's not a bad roll, I don't think. Okay, I pick it up. Like, what was I thinking there? Oh yeah, and I switched the doublet out with the padded tunic just because I feel like I wanted a little more move speed. I don't know, move speed is so good, and it gives you swing speed also. The padded tunic and the doublet are both like pretty damn good for a Slayer fighter in my eyes. Just having a little bit of base agility or strength attached to each one. I think I set eyes on the Centaur over here. Yeah, it's good to know these cheese spots for these really strong mobs, so I think this is where I go and yeah, aggro him. Now there's a burper zombie. Probably take care of this guy first. I mean, he's just in the way at this point. I mean, I got, you know, bigger fish to catch. Is that the phrase? I don't know. Blue Adventures tunic, I don't care. Bigger fish to fry. Yeah, I'll stop. I'm sorry. Threw a knife at the centaur. And yeah, right here. Like, you just got to jump up on the ledge. Easy, super easy. You do have to jump and crouch over some of this guy's swings here, though. So, you know, if he's swinging, you can be safe by jumping over each swing. But yeah, just go for headshots over and over and over. The centaurs look super intimidating, but they actually don't have that much health. So yeah, just land headshots. Do what you can. Ooh, see a mistake there. I even saw it coming. I was like, damn, that's bad. But you know, I don't have second wind actually. Alright, he's dead. What do you have? It's okay. Sometimes he has great loot. It's always worth checking. Yep, so I'm lower on health, which is a little scarier. I'd be way more scared if this was the Ghost King. But this is fine. Oh yeah, so I'm like inching along with the circle so I can sit down for a second and heal up. So yeah, let's just sit here and chat while I heal up. We're not doing that. Though I will point out, like, this is an example of that little safe zone in front of the door. You can see on the map that I'm in the boss room and I'm close to like where the square portion is, but I haven't crossed that line yet. I think it's Ryan 6 Days a Week that does a video on this. Somebody shows you like the aggro kind of how it works in this room. I don't know. That's just a great channel to watch if you're trying to learn like the mechanics of the game and how they work and how the numbers work and all that stuff. Definitely watch Ryan 6 Days a Week, man. He's awesome. All right, so here I'm just looking at the circle, and it's not honestly great for us, but I know the room to the north has like a ledge you can kind of walk across. I aggro the Ghost King, or the Skeleton King, whatever he is. Walk through the door real quick. I hear all the skeletons drop. I'm like, okay, we're good. So once again, still in the safe zone. He won't re-aggro until I pass that corner right there, so I'm just chilling. I'm like, what's the best play here? Decide to open this. I know there's a demon berserker in here, and there's a mosquito. I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. And since the circle's closing, I opt for getting safe in the circle first. I can see that there's a part of this hallway, and I use the invis potion here. So in the circle, very important to make sure you look at the map when doing this kind of stuff, because the circle's closing. If I use the invis potion a little bit outside the circle, it would have broken my invis as it was closing, but I made sure that I was like right inside the line. I might have been okay too, even if it broke my invis. Even that just de-aggroing for that second probably would have been fine, so I think I was probably safe either way, even if the circle tagged me. I mean, mostly I'm just trying to, you know, find my way to the circle and just, you know, find my way out. I'm just looting on the way. It's a little far now, so I'm a little concerned. I'm like, I want to make sure I get there and have, you know, ample time to open a portal and deal with whatever situation is surrounding the portal, so. That sound, yeah, so I don't know how many of y'all have hell experience. That's not a player, that's a demon berserker. I gotta deal with these stupid dragonflies. There's one that roams around in this room. I'm not really sure where he is right now. Probably up the stairs somewhere. But this is a great room. You can kind of get a mob stuck in various places and not have to worry about them. Yep, so that's the demon berserker. You know, there are ways to cheese him, but right now I'm just trying to get out. I think you could find a way to cheese him on this chest. But really, I just want to lock him in this room and start looking for a portal. So I just, you know, bait him over there, run by, and close the door behind me. And, you know, very important to know where the doors are and if you need to use them to lock a really strong creature in there. A centaur or demon berserker like that. So I see a bunch of portals in here, but there's a lot of mobs in here. I'm like, okay. Circle's also closing. I'm like, getting cut. Not much health. I'm like, I think I should probably prioritize getting the hell out of here. Just start opening this. Thankfully, the mummy in front of me is very slow. I'm like, screw it, get me out, I'm done. If the last couple circle locations were better, or maybe I was just moving too slow, I would have looted like way more. You know, it's still just fun. It's just a challenge run. Again, killing those powerful mobs like the Centaur, and if you find an opportunity to cheese the Berserkers, you get some pretty good stuff off of them. And even the Demon Bat. I found that the purple army sword off of the Demon Bats. So, yeah, you know, and they're fun. And honestly, I don't think I was killed by a single player in the course of doing these hell runs. So they felt, this could just be, you know, an outlier, but they felt very safe to me. So, you know, I'm probably going to do some more of them. But yeah, guys, I think that's pretty much going to be it for this video. Just let me know, you know, if you want to see that maybe the 0 to hero run that led up to me having this arming sword. You know, there's a few other ones out there. If you like this, you know, let me know. I'll make some more. But for now, that's going to be it. So till next time.